Hello and welcome to Unacademy, a one-stop destination for all English medium civil service aspirants. In today's session, I will discuss the AI race, India versus China. You can download the PDF of the session from my Telegram channel, the link for which is provided here. Before I start the session, a very important announcement. If you are starting your preparation, do check out our Platinum courses. The Platinum courses will be as interactive as the offline courses and as affordable and convenient as the online courses. In these sessions, you can constantly keep your cameras and mics on, participate in the discussions, instantly clear your doubts and play a very active role during the class. So do enroll before it is late. Let us now continue with the session. Artificial intelligence became a buzzword in the recent times. So let us understand what is artificial intelligence, examine the details about the global AI race and know where India stands in the race. Firstly, what is artificial intelligence? It is the ability of the machines to perform the cognitive tasks like thinking, perceiving, learning, problem solving and decision making. Means, like human beings, if the machines can learn from the data, identify the patterns, consolidate the information, solve the problems and can take the decisions, we call that as artificial intelligence. Let us examine the details about the global AI race. What is the context of this discussion? Recently, China launched its large language model called DeepSeek. DeepSeek is a Chinese AI model that disrupted the American dominated AI space. And the chief of the most valuable company in the world, NVIDIA became the world's first company to reach $5 trillion valuation. The chief of this company stated that China is just a few nanoseconds behind America in the AI. And according to him, the reasons could be lower energy cost in China and also the looser regulations there. He also stated that despite America pouring $109 billion, still China is winning the AI race. Let us examine the reasons in detail. Goldman Sachs, which is an investment firm, recently estimated that the data center power demand will go up by 160% in the near future. What is a data center? As we all know, artificial intelligence is about a machine learning from the data. So data center is the backbone of artificial intelligence. Data center is a place where enormous amount of data is stored and processed. And according to Goldman Sachs, the power demand, electricity power consumption demand for the data centers will go up by 160% in the near future. And the Chinese are addressing this particular issue by offering energy subsidies. These energy subsidies will cut the cost by half for the large data centers. But Chinese government will provide this subsidy only if these large data centers use the Chinese chips. Before we further proceed, let us understand a few terms here. First, what is an AI model, what is a large language model and what is a chip? AI model is nothing but a computer program or an algorithm which is trained on the large data set and it can detect the patterns, make predictions make recommendations, take decisions without explicit programming by the human beings. Means without being programmed, it will learn from the large amount of the data, detect the pattern, make predictions and take decisions. That is called as an AI model. The famous examples are nothing but the ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, etc. What is a large language model? Large language model is a type of AI program that uses deep learning techniques. These deep learning techniques are based on artificial neural networks. Artificial neural network is nothing but a series of nodes. Nodes means processing units. That store and process enormous amount of data. Why this is called artificial neural network? Because it mimics the neural network in the human brain. The series of nodes or processors can be compared to the series of neurons in the human brain. The series of neurons in the human brain. So, a large language model is a type of artificial intelligence program that uses deep learning techniques and massive data sets to understand, summarize, translate, predict and generate human-like text. And the examples, as I have already quoted, are ChatGPT, Google Gemini and also now this Chinese DeepSeek. These are the examples of large language models. They can deal with massive data sets, understand the patterns in the data sets, summarize enormous amount of information provided to them, translate the content into the other languages and predict a particular consequence by analyzing the data, and also can generate human-like text. It means it can provide you a summary of all the information in the language that you can easily understand. That is a large language model. And the context of this discussion is China launching its own large language model called DeepSeek, which is an AI model. Large language model is nothing but a type of an AI model, a more advanced AI model. Then what is a chip? Chip is a broad category that includes central processing units, like your laptop or your desktop computer will have a central processing unit that can be called as a chip. We call it as CPU, we call it as central processing unit, but that can also be called as a chip. The word chip also includes graphics processing unit. Graphics processing unit is nothing but an advanced central processing unit. Advanced central processing unit means it can also deal with the tasks like virtual reality, augmented reality, gaming, 3D animations and other high-end tasks. A more capable central processing unit is nothing but a graphics processing unit. This graphics processing unit can be inserted. It can be inserted into the central processing unit just like a card, or it can also be kept as a separate disk, a separate hardware. You can also maintain this like a separate hardware. That is graphics processing unit. Graphics processing unit can also be called as a chip. And another one is NPU. NPU means neural processing unit. Neural processing unit is also an advanced central processing unit which is especially used in the artificial intelligence and artificial neural networks. These three things together can be called as chips. And a graphics processing unit is a specialized chip, whereas a central processing unit is a normal chip that we regularly use in our desktops and laptops, right? Then, let us go back to our discussion on the global AI race. Goldman Sachs stated that the power demand by the data centers will go up by 160% in the near future. And China is addressing this particular issue by providing the energy subsidies to large data centers. As we have already seen, data center is a place where enormous amounts of data is being stored and processed. They will get subsidy. This subsidy will reduce their cost by 50%. But for this there is one condition. The large data centers, the companies operating the large data centers should use only the Chinese chips. Means they should use only the Chinese central processing units, graphics processing units and the neural processing units. What is the advantage of giving this subsidy? One advantage is to support their domestic chip industry, because the condition here is the company will get the subsidy only if they use the Chinese chips. So definitely the domestic chip industry will get a boost because of these subsidies, and also it will reduce the dependence on NVIDIA's chips. Recently, Trump administration has not allowed the company NVIDIA to sell its most advanced chip called Blackwell to China. Means NVIDIA cannot sell its chip to China. In this particular context, China has two requirements. One is to boost the production of its own chips like graphics processing units, CPUs, etc. and also to reduce the dependence on the American chips. Both these targets can be achieved by providing this subsidy with the condition that the company must use the Chinese chips. Jensen Huang, the founder of NVIDIA company, argued that the fragmented regulatory landscape in the US. Fragmented regulatory landscape in the US means in the United States, in different states, the regulatory framework is different. That is the reason why he is using the word fragmented regulatory landscape. Because of this, the firms will have to struggle hard with varying requirements across the jurisdictions. It means if the company is located in one state, the rules are different, in the other state, the rules are different. This could raise cost and also impact the innovation. So to summarize, despite America pouring $109 billion into the AI market, why China is winning the race is because of two reasons. One is low energy cost and second one is looser and easier regulations. Then, now AI race, India versus China. Why are we comparing India with China? In the context that China is very closely approaching the global leader America. So now we have to compare the Indian scenario with that of China. Let us see where India stands in comparison with China in the AI race. Let us examine this based on different parameters. The first one is total private investment. Total private investment. In this parameter, China ranks second in the world with $9.3 billion in the year 2024. Whereas India ranks 12th with an investment of $1.16 billion in the same year 2024. It means in this parameter, China is far ahead. Next, the next parameter is AI compute power. Computing power means what? Its processing capacity, its efficiency in the data centers, okay, and chips manufacturing, etc. AI compute power. In this parameter, China ranks 7th and India ranks 6th globally as of September 2025. Means India winning the race in this parameter. Next one, AI patent filings. Patents are given for the new discovery. In the patent filing, China ranks number 1 globally. Not only it is a global leader in the AI patent filing, also 70% of the global total patents are filed from China. And in the patent filings, India ranks 4th by the same year 2025. The next parameter is AI talent and workforce. Chinese youth have significant talent base but lower foreign hiring than India. India has a special advantage in this parameter because of being very proactive in learning English and migrating to US. The domestic talent of the Indian youth is also far superior. India excels in the talent, and also in the foreign hiring also India stands at a very good position. Excels in the talent. AI professionals hired globally in large numbers. Next, AI startup unicorns. It means how many popular startup companies are there that are working in the field of artificial intelligence. China leads this race with 7 AI startup unicorns, whereas in comparison, India has 4 artificial intelligence startup unicorns. Then, what is the difference in the government strategy? The Chinese government is taking a very aggressive national strategy with programs like Made in China 2025, focusing on indigenous technology and also military usage of the artificial intelligence. Whereas India is not very much keen in AI production, but very much there in the race on par with the global leaders in the AI consumption. Next, the foundation models, that is large language models. The popular large language models are nothing but the GPT and the Google's Gemini, and also, as I mentioned in the beginning of this class, the DeepSeek. With the DeepSeek, which is a large language model, China is emerging as a powerhouse with the large language models like DeepSeek and Qwen. Whereas in India, we don't have an indigenous large language model, but we have something called Digital India Bhashini project. In what way Digital India Bhashini project is different from GPT or DeepSeek or Qwen? The Bhashini project in India is mainly related to translation of the Indian languages. The target is to make information and digital services accessible in multiple Indian languages. India is a unique country with enormous linguistic diversity. So in that context, it is our primary importance to make the information and digital services accessible to the people of different languages. So our AI model called Bhashini project primarily aims at translation of the information into different Indian languages. But it is not a large language model that can predict the patterns, summarize the information, consolidate the information, and will give you a text in the language that you can understand. You cannot compare Bhashini project with GPT. Its purpose is different. And this purpose is important for a country like India with enormous linguistic diversity. Okay. So we have seen the AI race between India and China, and we understood where India stands in the race. Then let us discuss how to analyze the AI development. How to analyze the AI development. The first thing is the strength of the country's domestic market. You all study in economy that the fundamental principle, that is demand supply formula. Okay? When a country is having huge domestic market, definitely it will be a motivation for the AI development in the country. So the strength of a country's domestic market is one primary factor for the AI development, because when there is more demand, there is a scope and motivation for more development in the field. So developing AI solutions and integrating them into their business operations. This AI development or the domestic market will be at two levels. One is production level, second one is consumption level, that is development of the AI solutions and also using the AI solutions in the business. If a country is doing these two, developing the AI solutions and using the AI solutions in the domestic business, if a country is doing these two, in such country there will be a good motivation for the AI development. This domestic market fosters the innovation, attracts investment. People will be more enthusiastic in investing in the AI market if there is more demand, and ensures that AI advancement actively contribute to the economic productivity and industry transformation. So what is the first factor responsible for AI development? The strength of a country's domestic market. This domestic market is in two different aspects. One is developing the AI solutions, second one using the AI solutions in the business operations. Okay. Second factor which is very important for a country's artificial intelligence development is the government strategy on the investment. Let us compare what is the difference between India and China in the government's strategy on the investments. The China's AI strategy has been driven by substantial government-backed venture capital investments. Government-backed venture capital investments means Chinese government is investing in the startup companies with a nearly $912 billion allocated over the past decade. In the past decade, in China, there is $912 billion government-backed venture capital investments. And in this, approximately 23% is particularly towards the AI firms. It means the Chinese government invested $209 billion in the AI firms in the last decade. Means Chinese government is taking an aggressive strategy towards the AI development. If we see the situation in India, at least for now, at least for the present situation, in contrast with China, India is developing in its AI consumption. It means we are using artificial intelligence, but not on par with the global leaders when it comes to development of the AI solutions. It means not primarily the producers in the AI market, but because of the heavy population and the average age of the country is very less, Because of having large proportion of youth, India is one of the leading consumers in the AI sector. Okay, we are using artificial intelligence, but not very much there in the development of the AI solutions. The third factor, how the government is integrating artificial intelligence into the military operations and intelligence services. In one word, how Chinese government is using artificial intelligence and how Indian government is using the artificial intelligence. Indian government is primarily using artificial intelligence in the defense, whereas Chinese government is using the artificial intelligence in attack. What is the military usage of artificial intelligence in China and India? Military and intelligence usage of artificial intelligence in India and China. The military usage of artificial intelligence in India is particularly in terms of defense, whereas the military usage of artificial intelligence in China is particularly in terms of attack. What is the meaning of this statement? India is leveraging artificial intelligence primarily for surveillance, reconnaissance, logistics, cyber security, and particularly to say defense. Why should we do surveillance? To check if any enemies are attacking on the country. Reconnaissance is also a word which is more or less same as surveillance. And cyber security is also to defend the country from the enemy's attack. If you examine these terms, surveillance, reconnaissance, cyber security, it means India is not using artificial intelligence for the attack purpose. Rather, India is using it to defend the country from the enemy's attack. Whereas, what is the military usage of artificial intelligence in China? China is making more aggressive strides in the military artificial intelligence, investing heavily on autonomous weapons, not defense, not surveillance, reconnaissance and cyber security, weapons, autonomous weapons, which will take a decision because these autonomous weapons are based on the artificial intelligence. They can identify the target, take a decision and attack on the enemy's target. Missile guidance systems. Artificial intelligence will guide their missiles, means in the attack format. And also AI enhanced command structures. A center which is working to give command for the launch of the missiles and all. If you examine these words, autonomous weapons, missile guidance systems, command structures, all these reflect the military usage of artificial intelligence in the attack format. Means China is taking a more aggressive usage of artificial intelligence for its military and intelligence services. Then, according to an Australian Strategic Policy Institute's Critical Technology Tracker, according to this tracker, China leads in 37 out of 44 technologies monitored. Means not only artificial intelligence. When the tracker compared around 44 technologies, in 37 out of 44 technologies, China is leading. And some of these technologies are defense technology, space technology, robotics, energy, biotechnology, including our present topic, artificial intelligence. Finally, it is clearly evident that China is winning the race even when compared to America. Now comes the most important discussion. How should we take it? Is it completely negative for us, or can we see something positive in this scenario? Is there anything positive for Indians because of the fact that China is just a few nanoseconds behind America in AI. Do we have any advantage of this fact? First point is, they serve as valuable case studies and also indirect testing ground. It means, can we invest heavily in the AI industry? Will it be remunerative? What will be the consequences if we heavily invest in the AI industry? For all that, this became an unpaid testing ground. So China acted as an unpaid testing ground for us to test for our future strategy towards the investments in AI industry. So for India, these advancements serve as valuable case studies and an indirect testing ground from which critical lessons can be drawn. So we should take motivation from the country, and also it worked as an unpaid case studies like a testing ground. Now more confidently we can do our investments and fix our strategy in the AI industry. So this is how we have to take this particular development very positively. And what are the Indian advantages in this global AI race? The first advantage is we already got a testing ground, and the second advantage is India's vast market size. India being the most populated country in the world and also having a very high proportion of youth, India has a vast AI market. And as you know, when the market is more, the demand is more, and obviously we can easily attract the investments and more confidently plan our strategy in the AI development, so that one fine day we will be the leader in the global race. India possesses a unique advantage of an expansive pool of young, highly skilled engineers who could form foundation for AI innovation. And another advantage for India is the government push. The India AI mission with 10,372 crore budget aims to foster the infrastructure, computing power, and also the research in the AI field. Another advantage is rapidly growing digital economy, expanding technological infrastructure are the advantages of India in the global AI race. So the lesson from this is, we should encash these advantages, take motivation, use the leading countries as a testing grounds, and one fine day be a global leader in the AI race. That's all for this session. Thank you so much.